Hello everyone. Ichimoku kinko is a technical indicator. It is my all-time favorite indicator. In my all technical analysis, I use Ichimoku indicators to predict the market. Do you want to know the success rate of the Ichimoku indicator? Yes, it's 90%. Still traders reach more than 90%. That's the special of the Ichimoku indicator. So before we get into the subject, if you are not subscribe the channel, please do subscribe, like and share so that you will not miss out any upcoming technical analysis learning videos. Let's start. So the Ichimoku Kinko is a momentum indicator. If you take a look at the chart here, this is the Ichimoku indicator. So at a glance, if you take a look, it looks complicated, right? But when you understand, it's very easy. So the Ichimoku indicator is primarily used by traders and analysts to define the support and resistance. Ichimoku kinko indicator, which translates into a one-look equilibrium chart. So when you take a look at the chart, you can understand the trend of the market. So that's the wise about the Ichimoku indicator. The Ichimoku indicator was developed by Goshi Hosoda, a Japanese journalist. He reportedly spent 30 years working on it to build the Ichimoku indicator. In the early 1960s, there was no systems, right? So he used to manually take a entry, markets day high and low, and plot this Ichimoku indicator for his analyst. Right, let's take a look Ichimoku indicator components. There are five components: Tenkan-sen, Kijun-sen, Chiku-span, Senku-span A, Senku-span B. These are the five components which bound to build the Ichimoku indicator. Let's discuss briefly about these five components. Tenkan-sen line. If you take a look at the chart, so I marked the Tenkan-sen line here. The chart have Ichimoku indicator plotted. So the Tenkan-sen line is also known as a conversion line. It is calculated by adding highest high and highest low over the past 9 periods and then divided by 2, which is plotted here as a Tenkan-sen line. The second component is Kijun-sen line. Kijun-sen is called as baseline. If you take a look at the formula, it looks similar to the Tenkan-sen, but the period here it is 26 period. If you take a look at the chart, here I mark the Kijun-sen line. The Kijun-sen is similar to the Tenkan-sen, but it takes longer time frame into the consideration, usually 26 period compared to the Tenkan-sen period 9. The third component is Chiku span. If you take a look at the chart here, the Chiku span stands out, right? So that's the Chiku span. It's also called as a lagging span. The Chiku span, also known as a lagging span, it is formed by taking the current price and shifting it back to 26 period to the left. The next compound is Senku span A. Senku span A or leading span A is calculated by adding Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen and divided by 2. The value is plotted 26 period into the future. If you take a look at the chart here, the Senku span A is marked the future to the current price. So next, Senku span B is also known as leading span B. The Senku span B or leading span B is calculated by adding the highest high and the lowest low over past 52 periods divided by 2 and then plotted into 26 periods ahead. So if you take a look at the chart here, the Senku span B is marked here 26 period ahead, but the calculation is completely different between the Senku span A, which is like past 52 periods high and low divided by 2. So basically this calculation looks at the first time bit tricky, but when you understand the calculations, then the Ichimoku indicator will be much more easier to get it. So the Senku span A and Senku span B form the cloud. Right, so let's take a look in a real chart so we'll get better understanding. Alright, let's look these 5 components in trading view. So I have plotted the indicator, Ichimoku indicator in the chart, Nifty. So the orange line is Tenkan-sen, the blue line is Kijun-sen, the white line is Chiku span, the green line is Senku span A, and the red line is the below one is Senku span B. So the orange line Tenkan-sen, it's 9 period high plus 9 period low divided by 2. So let me take a look here. So 9 period high and low. So I'm in daily time frame. So I'm just looking the 9 period high and low. If you take the 9 period high, which is around 18,344, and the low here in the 9 below, it's 17,628. If you sum up these two numbers and divide by 2, you will get the Tenkan-sen value. So that is here. So the Tenkan-sen represent the 9 period high plus 9 period low divided by 2. In the same way, if you look up the Kijun-sen, so the blue line is a Kijun-sen. I'm going to check here the 26 period high and low. So the 26 period low is around here 17,250, the high is 18,338, right? So if you sum up these and divide by 2, you'll get the value where the Kijun-sen is plotted. So in the same way, if I look up the lagging span, the white one, so the lagging span is nothing but it is plotted 26 period back of current candle. So if I take a look 26 period back, so where this Chiku span is plotted, so Chiku span is a lagging span where it behind 26 period of current candle, right? Now we'll take a look up Senku span A here. So the Senku span A is Tenkan-sen plus Kijun-sen divided by 2. So the Kijun-sen and Tenkan-sen, the value divided by 2, which gets the Senku span A. If you calculate values Tenkan-sen and Kijun-sen, you get the Senku span A. So I'm not going to calculate having the calculation here. It will take a time. Just apply the calculation and you'll get the numbers and you can understand better way. Right now, Senku span B, the highest price of past 52 candles and the lowest price of past 52 candles, which is plotted 26 period a future ahead. The Senku span A and B, which forms a cloud. So this area is said to be a cloud. Brief intro of the Ichimoku indicator. So when you start to use the Ichimoku indicator in the charts, you will get understand better way. And in the future videos, when we see the strategies by applying this Ichimoku indicator, so we'll get more in-depth knowledge. Alright, we have taken a glance of Ichimoku indicator in trading view. We would have understand the key components of the Ichimoku by now. So what's next? To know the Ichimoku trading signals and technical analysis strategies, please watch next video. Do subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Like and share. Thank you. Vanakkam.